Welcome to our final session. This session will focus on what you can do if the media is not responding to all your efforts and doesn't seem to care about your story.
Relative protesting against the death of a prisoner at the correctional facility last evening.
I had to go into the maximum security prison in Nairobi to investigate the murder of an inmate by a warder. And I got in there and managed to get footage out.
Prisoners stripped naked, lying in rows of twos, and prison warders raining blows and kicks on them indiscriminately.
The prisoners themselves shot that on a cell phone.
The prison warders were out to recover mobile phones and other contraband goods in the hands of the inmates.
If the media won't cover you, cover yourselves. It's a specific kind of citizen reporting strategy that we call self-coverage. Members of your group create a system for reporting and distributing news about your activities. Using today's technologies, there are countless ways to do this.
Political activists in Egypt assumed the role of the media because of the crackdown on the media.
We're going to be in Tahrir Square tomorrow and Mubarak is going out. Be with us. Bye-bye.
It was their coverage of their movement that kept it going. We even saw people on Tahrir Square with signs saying, "I want my internet service back." When it returned, it played a very important role. Spirits were down in Alexandria, and internet activists in Cairo sent them live feeds of what was happening in Tahrir Square. This kept up the momentum of the movement. And more important, it was this coverage of the movement that encouraged other cities in Egypt and encouraged other Arab countries to engage in resistance to their autocratic regimes.
Inspired by the unrest that has shaken Egypt, tens of thousands have taken to the streets of Yemen.
The self-coverage of a movement is very important because it is revealing in some ways the essence of the movement itself.
As we mentioned, there's no more sophisticated example of self-coverage than the Democratic Voice of Burma, whose amazing activities are captured in the award-winning film Burma VJ, which means video journalist.
The security is very tight in Rangoon. So many government people are there without uniforms. We went there and spread around, and these things happen just in front of me.
By 2006, Burmese activists had a news distribution network in place. There were undercover reporters in Burma, an operation to smuggle video out of the country and onto Norway, and a satellite network to broadcast back into the country. So the next year, when the Burmese people, along with thousands of monks, rose up against the military dictatorship, the citizen reporters of Burma were ready.
We couldn't take out a camera in public area. So we make a plastic bar or a paper box and make a small hole for the camera lens. So we just turn on the camera and keep rolling it.
We have dozens of undercover reporters working and filming for us. Some of them taking really big risks.
The footage the Burmese citizen reporter shot and smuggled out of the country was also picked up by the international media to be broadcast not only in Burma, where many people have satellite dishes, but also around the world, mobilizing millions in support.
If Burma's illegitimate military leaders thought they could scare the people off the streets,
they were wrong.
The men behind the cameras were ordinary citizens.
We've been getting images and information from the opposition network, the Democratic Voice of Burma.
The DVB was very effective in letting the world know about what was going on in Burma in 2007.
The Saffron Uprising, as it was called, did not immediately lead to political change in the Burmese regime, but it was a huge step forward in the fight against the military dictatorship.
The day I was released, a lot of people came to my house and they were standing outside my gate, and I went out to talk to them. And to my astonishment, there were so many young people there with little cell phones. It was a revelation because it meant that we were no longer cut off from the rest of the globe.
Among the many things DVB exemplifies, it shows how even activist media need to safeguard their independence to be credible.
We tried to become an independent public service media organization for people inside Burma.
As you become more effective, self-coverage may well invite repression. You may be in real danger.
Authority are really afraid of the camera. If there's a camera, they know what they're doing is wrong, but they don't want to be recorded.
Regardless of what resources you have, covering yourself also has many advantages. We'll get into that when we return. Welcome back. As you develop your self-coverage strategy, many of you will be lucky enough to have the internet to rely on. For those with no internet access, there is fax, SMS mobile, conventional TV, radio and newspapers, and even in some cases, satellite communications. Some political activists working secretly manage to publish entire newspapers and magazines regularly. Others come out of the shadows and take to the streets with eye-catching political performances, assemblies and slogans. The less you have to work with, the more creativity is necessary.
You know,
a group of activists in Mexico who are promoting a movie about the presumption of guilt in the Mexican justice system. I taught them how to tweet without Twitter. How did I use it? We used our hands and magic markers, and we just wrote the messages in our hands, and we just kept on showing our hands during interviews in photo shoots.
In self-coverage, as in conventional coverage, fail to make your story interesting to others and you're wasting your time. The guidelines that follow may seem obvious, but experience has shown that for many people, even some professionals, they are not. First and foremost, don't be lazy. You need to test all of your equipment regularly to make sure it's working. You must know exactly where and when you're meeting the subjects you're covering. Dress appropriately and be there on time. Treat your interviewee with respect, regardless of whether you agree with what he or she is saying. If you're filming, be careful not to interrupt too often.
It's not a question of having no idea.
Well, what is your idea, Prime Minister?
For TV interviews, you'll obviously need some sort of camera, and ideally a second person to operate it. Be aware that audio on amateur cameras is often of a much lower quality than video, so look for a quiet location and stand with a camera no more than 5 feet from your subject.
No, they're just coming for a free ride.
If possible, test audio and video at the location ahead of the interview itself. Never record over anything unless security requires it.
If there's no picture, there's no story.
If you're conducting a video interview and wish not to be in the picture, you should stand yourself next to the camera operator, squeezing in tightly next to the lens without blocking it. Ask your subject to look at you, not directly into the camera. Print interviews are less complicated in terms of equipment, but the basics still apply. Self-coverage requires you to play a dual role. You are now not only the subject of the story, but also the reporter covering it. Just like being interviewed, interviewing someone well takes practice. Interaction between journalist and subject should be planned from both sides. You also make sure you ask the right questions. This means researching your subject and knowing what's already been reported, so you can advance the story. To avoid confusion, frame your questions in the simplest, clearest language and using only one idea per sentence. These are the elements of self-coverage that will help you to control the story. A successful media strategy is all about opportunities, how you identify them and how you make them your own.
It's worth saying again, this isn't about tricking anyone or beating the system. It's about learning to make the system work for you.
If there's anything you remember from our discussion, remember this. Be confident. You can influence how your story is told.
In the long run, I believe in hard work. Any young person, anywhere, if he or she manages to make a person-to-person contact with anybody in the media, he or she would be able to attract the kind of attention that would help their movement.
If you're skillful, smart, savvy in working with the media, you can actually create opportunities for yourself.
See the media as powerful potential allies.
We came here peacefully. We are asking our minimum basic rights in this country as a human being.
The media will run after your story once you have become a story.
You mustn't give up hope. You have the right to keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive. I love you very much.
More often than not, the media need you as much as you need them. As you master new technologies and seize opportunities, they'll need you even more. You have the power to press your case. I'm Riz Khan. Thank you for joining us.
Paul and Silas bound in jail, got no money for to go their bail. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Paul and Silas thought they'd lost, the dungeon shook and the chains fell off. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Freedom's name is mighty sweet, and one day soon we are gonna meet. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Got my hand on the gospel plow, won't take nothing for my journey now. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. The way is slow and we've so far to go. Keep your eyes on the prize. The way is slow and we've so far to go. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Only chain a man can stand is that chain of hand in hand. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Ain't no man on earth control the weight of glory on a human soul. Keep your eyes on the prize, hold on. Keep your eyes on the prize, keep your eyes on the prize, keep your eyes on the prize. When you see a man walk free, it makes you dream of Jubilee.
Listen to that crowd. That's what they've been waiting for. Hosni Mubarak has gone.
On the prize.